A very warm welcome to the Football Martin channel. This is the pre-match preview. Southampton take on Watford in the Championship tomorrow, and the pre-match preview is coming your way.
Le Tissier. Here he is, Matt Le Tissier is back in the grand manner. Armstrong! Southampton announce their Wembley arrival.
That is a terrific goal. Humdinger.
As brings down the ball, that's fantastic. No offside. He's put Cienza through. Cienza's in behind Devlin in the box. Just man to beat and does so.
Good goal, good play.
Leo Cienza wakes up at Fratton Park. Prowse, he is going to have a dart. It's a wonderful, wonderful goal from James Ward-Prowse.
For Ricky Lambert, a pure strike right into the top corner. No chance for Asmir Begovic.
Oh, tremendous equaliser. Oh, what a goal that was within seconds of the restart. Marian Bahars has brought Southampton level.
It's small ball! Now the city roars! That is fantastic.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning in. If you're tuning in live and watching this live, please do get involved in the conversation below. That would mean the absolute world to me, and it's great to keep building this community. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do get and subscribe to the channel as well. You will be notified as well of any content that goes out over the weekend, and there is plenty coming your way. But all focus is on the pre-match preview show today. Coming up, we have team news, the head-to-head, the form guide. We'll also be listening to what Tonda Eckert had to say about selling Adam Armstrong this week. And also, I'm going to be joined by Michael, a Dutch football expert from Football Oranje, and he's going to be speaking with me about our brand new January signing, Cyle Larin. This show is brought to you in association with DNS Carpets. A massive shout out to them for supporting the channel. And I would like to just shout out a friend of mine who's got a company called Energy Save Experts. If you have a business and you are looking to save money on your energy, make sure you go check the guys out at Energy Save Experts. Tom and his team are absolutely superb. I wanted to give them a shout out today because they're supporting the channel as well with a small contribution as well. So Energy Save Experts, the link is in the show notes below. If your business is looking to save a bit of money on energy, go check them out. Right, that's the ads out the way. Let's get in to the pre-match show. There's plenty to cover today, and there's a bit of team news as well. And it does look like Cyle Larin is in line for his debut tomorrow. Not sure that he'll start in the game tomorrow. I will give you my predicted lineup very, very shortly. But we head back to St Mary's tomorrow after that impressive 2-0 win at Stoke last weekend. A brilliant performance at Stoke. And Saints are looking to make it 4 games unbeaten in the Championship. Larin, he has the number 9 jersey as well. So the team news. What is the team news? Maz Roslev, he's still not fit. It seems like he's been out for such a long time. He was waiting to see the specialist. I guess that was one at the club. Eckert mentioned that in his press conference today. And he also went on to say that Jay Robinson will miss out with the clash tomorrow against Watford. He said he has a minor issue with his quad. So Jay won't be involved tomorrow, but it shouldn't be a long-term thing. It will be interesting to see if Sam Edozie gets a nod on the bench tomorrow. I'll be really intrigued to see if that one happens. And who will be the penalty taker, Saints fans? Adam Armstrong's gone. Who will become the penalty taker, and who will become the vice captain? Because Armstrong, not only was he the penalty taker, he was the vice captain as well. We'll touch upon that very, very shortly. But he said the rest of the squad is looking good. Will Shay Charles get a nod tomorrow? Be interested to see if he does. There are some other bits I want to bring to you, club news, in a minute. But Watford still managerless. Charlie Daniels in charge. He was down at Bournemouth as a player, and he spoke about the performance that his side put in against Hull in midweek, because they did play in midweek, and they were very good. I saw some glimpses of their game, and they were very, very well organised there. They went there and got a 0-0 draw, and he said, we are not getting ahead of ourselves. It's been a whirlwind few days, and he said it's not even been a full week that they've been in charge. Javi Gracia left. He's left Watford. He walked out. Wasn't sacked. He walked out. They go through managers. Like I go through hot dinners, it's absolutely outrageous. He said, moving forward, we need to save some energy and enthusiasm and quality against a very strong Southampton side. He spoke about the Saints being very strong. He said it's a fresh start for everyone at the moment at the football club. And as a group, they are doing their best to keep everybody together and achieve as many results as they can. I'll bring you a little bit from Eckert's press conference very shortly. But what I want to do on the show, before we bring you guys involved in the chat, we're going to have a look in a little bit more detail into their recent form. You can check out my opposition preview. That is now available here on the Football Martin channel. There's a full lowdown with 3 other Watford fans. The Do Not Scratch Your Eyes Out podcast joined me earlier on in the week, and we had a good old chat about Watford and where their club is at. And it's a really good watch, actually. It's one of the best chats I've had in a while with a group of fans. There's 3 of them. It was really, really good. Right, we should look at the Sky Bet Championship table, shouldn't we, and see how things are heading into this game week. Leicester City, with that points deduction, it puts them on level points with West Bromwich Albion. 32 points. West Bromwich Albion are absolutely in the mess after their managerial change, and their new manager hasn't been able to get a tune out of the West Bromwich Albion players, and you'd have to say that he's under a bit of pressure there. Blackburn are managerless at the moment. Leicester managerless as well. Portsmouth, they've moved themselves up to 19th place after that win against West Brom last weekend, a point against us a couple of weeks ago. We sit 14th, 40 points on the board, and how nice would it be to try and get another 3 points on the board tomorrow? It still won't get us into the sort of like, it's not going to take us that far really, but we could close in on Watford. They got 4 points more than us. There isn't loads between us in terms of form. We'll come on to that very, very shortly. But I do want your score predictions and your lineup thoughts. Get them in the comments box below. I am going to give you my lineup prediction here on the channel because I'm intrigued to give you my thoughts. And I would love to get your thoughts on whether you agree with me or not. So you've got all the head-to-head on the right-hand side of the carousel at the moment. You've got the league position. You've got the form guide. Watford, obviously managerless. The previous games against one another. Last time out at St Mary's in the league. Flynn Downs with that 96th minute header. Was it 96 minutes? A brilliant, brilliant day that was. And there's still those brilliant clips of the fans outside the stadium being interviewed by Saints Fans TV at the time. And then we scored as they're leaving, chasing the game at 2-2. And there was fans outside moaning. Can you believe it? Right, predicted lineup. Here is my predicted lineup for you for tomorrow. There's got to bear in mind it's a three game week because we play Leicester twice. We play them on Tuesday night in the Championship. Then we play them in the FA Cup on Saturday at St Mary's, and I think it will be pretty much an unchanged team. I think the only big question mark is whether he gives Shea Charles a start in this one and saves Casper Yander for the game against Leicester. He will play in one of these games. Charles will play in one of them. I just wonder if he'll play him in the home game against Watford tomorrow. I've gone with Downs and Charles in central midfield. Wellington at left back was brilliant last weekend at the Bet365. Jack Stevens, Taylor Harwood-Bellis were both superb. James Bree had a really good game last weekend as well. I know there are flag issues here, by the way. I have told StreamBuilder they have to update Shea Charles' flag and Finn Azaz's flag. They still haven't done it. I will push to get that done because it looks a little bit embarrassing. Tom Fellows on the right-hand side and Leo Cienza on the left. And I do think he will start Ross Stewart up front. I don't think that Larin will start tomorrow. I just don't see Larin starting in the game tomorrow. I might be wrong, but I don't see him starting. I do think he'll make his debut, and he will probably end up coming off the bench. And talking about Larin, we're going to find out a little bit more about him later on in the show. What I should do is, whilst we're doing this stream live, we should get you guys involved in the chat. If you're watching on Catch Up, make sure you get involved and give us your score predictions. I'd love to get all your opinions and all your thoughts. A bit more live content over the weekend as well. I will do a home from the game live tomorrow night as well. Well, the game's at lunchtime, isn't it? So it'll be more of a tea time stream tomorrow. But we will get some more streaming in the coming days. That's for sure. Mike's in the live. He goes with a 3-0 Saints win. I'll give you my score prediction very shortly. I'm going to go through yours first. Big Vernon's gang is in. Great to have you along, my friend. 3 games and Saints could be very close to the playoffs. Yeah, I think we've got a particularly favourable run of form. Leicester are not in a good place currently. They are in a little bit of a mess, aren't they? They are in a massive mess. Leo to take the penalties. We were talking about the penalty taker. I'm not sure what it'd be like from the spot, Leo Cienza. But I will be, be interesting to see. Feeling positive. 2-0 Saints win from Ivan. He's feeling confident. Big Vernon's gang. He's going with a 3-0 Saints win. Good evening to you all. Teddy's in. Hi, I met you once outside St Mary's. Great to have met you, Teddy. Always a pleasure to meet new followers of the channel. Going for a 2-1 win. Larin to score both for Saints. Do you think he starts tomorrow? I'm not sure he starts tomorrow, but wouldn't it be amazing if he did come in and scored a couple of goals? Going for a 2-1 win. Larin to score both goals. Sorry, I'm reading it out again. I think that covers... Oh, there we go. We got another one there. That was the one I was looking for from Neon. I'm going with a 3-1. Feel we are the better team. Yeah, and I'm going to give you my score prediction now. I did a championship prediction show yesterday, and I went with a draw. I went with a 1-1 draw. Do you know what? I'm feeling a bit more positive, actually. I'm not convinced we keep a clean sheet. I don't know if we can keep a clean sheet, but you've got to back Saints to win, haven't you? At home, with the squad of players we've got, you just feel that we're not bad with lunchtime kickoffs. I actually feel we're better with a lunchtime kickoff. I'm going to go with a win. I'm going to go with a 2-1 Saints win tomorrow. Who's the goal scorer? Finn Azaz will hit a bit of a run. You wait and see. 2-0 Saints. We've got a 3-1 Saints. Another 3-1. But yeah, I fancy Larin to come off the bench and net tomorrow. I just wonder how quick it's going to take him to get up to speed. That would be my biggest concern about Larin. We're going to find out a bit more about him very shortly. But Southampton did sell their top goal scorer this week. And here is what Tonda Eckert had to say in his press conference today about losing Adam Armstrong.
Ultimately, the club sold your top scorer and the man whose goals, 32 of them in the championship for the club over a season and a half. That could be seen as handicapping you, making your job harder because you've lost your top scorer, not easier. How do you view Adam Armstrong's sale?
Yeah, I don't see it that way. I think Adam Armstrong, again, he has written such an unbelievable chapter for this football club, has been a great servant to Southampton. And then if a player comes up with the wish to open up some conversations and a potential change, I think that you, as a football club, just need to be open to listen to whatever coming in. And I think in the end that we have found a nice solution for all of the parties involved. And then we have Cyle lined up. In the end, I'm very happy.
Cyle Larin's profile seems to be more of the mould of Ross, or more of the mould of a one central striker in a 4-2-3-1, for example. Is that what you were after? Is that the model you were after?
Well, I think if you look at us as a team in general, and I think that's been the story for most of the season, I think that we have lots of qualities that we can put on the pitch. Size and physicality is not necessarily one of them, especially if we play with 2 centre-backs. And obviously there's always a chance in some of the games to compensate that further up top on the pitch. And I think Ross has given to us in many games. I don't think that we need that necessarily for every single game, but it might help us for some of the games that we are approaching.
And that was Tonda Eckert speaking about Adam Armstrong. It does seem like Armstrong was ready to go in the interview that you saw with Wolves. I think he's been pushing for a move, and I think he was grateful to the football club who allowed him to go. And I think it's very difficult to keep a player when he doesn't want to be there. I think it is a really, really difficult position to be in. We just have to hope that Larin comes in and hits the ground running. But it is a big gamble. I've seen a lot of content about it. I've seen a lot of people talk about it, what a big gamble it is. And we just haven't, just the replacement. I think everybody is going to be questioning. We'll find out a little bit more about the replacement very shortly, because I've got an interview with a really, really good Dutch football expert, and he'll be able to give us a little bit of an insight of how it unravelled for Larin over in Holland. I kind of feel the same. I think Larin could work well with Fellows. He just needs an early goal, doesn't he? How many strikers have we brought in and not got an early goal? If he could come in and get a nice early goal, it would make such a difference, I feel. Thoughts on the clean sheet? Difficult to see us keeping a clean sheet. The inevitable set piece will undo us. Yeah, it seems to be the way. Why the draw? I think there's lots of positivity in the last few weeks. I totally agree. Think the window was okay. We now have the blueprint for a settled 11. Yeah, I think the squad is... Look, I don't think it's 100% what we need, but they thinned it out what they needed to do. But every footballer you bring in, I think someone's just about to mention it here, every player the board get is a gamble. I think it is at any club, isn't it? Unless you're spending millions on proven players, and we're not in that position, it's very, very difficult to... Look, we took a gamble with Cienza and it's worked out. We took a gamble with Yanda and it's worked out. Just sometimes it worked out. We took a gamble with Damien Downs and it unfortunately just didn't work out, did it? It is just how it goes sometimes. Right. Back to the game tomorrow. I want to look at the season so far, the two club season stats, average SofaScore ratings here. This is all from SofaScore. They've got Saints at 6.84 and Watford at 6.81. Obviously, we both played the same amount of games. We've scored a few more goals than them, but not a lot, just 4 more goals. Average goals per game, very, very similar. Goals conceded. We've conceded more than Watford. We've kept more clean sheets, though. I think it does help when we've got an upgrading in the goalkeeper at the moment in Daniel Peretz. I really like him. And then you look at ball possession. The two sides are very similar. Southampton just edged that, but only just. Then the past results between the two sides. Last time out in the Championship early on this season, Will Still, the Saints manager, finished up 2-2 at Vicarage Road. Enjoyed the visit to Vicarage Road. Ryan Manning with a beautiful free kick on the day, and I think it was Aaron Kunda with another brilliant free kick. He's suspended actually for the game tomorrow. Then it was the 3-2 victory down at St Mary's. Flynn Downs with that late last gasp goal when we were chasing the playoffs and securing a playoff place. What a day that was at St Mary's. Absolutely magical scenes at the end, but a lot of people had left. Then it was an FA Cup game. We won 3-0. It was a draw before that up at Vicarage Road. And then the Championship game before last at St Mary's finished up 1-1 between the two
Ultimately,
sides.
the club...
And, that is, the previous games between us. Right, let's come to some more of your chat, and then I will bring you my interview with Michael from Football Aranya. Christopher Loder's in. Larin has played in a much better league than the Championship in recent years. The Eredivisie, maybe the so-called Farmers League, but final would probably beat us 2 or 3-0. I think you're absolutely correct. Fellow scoring against Watford may help his and the team's confidence massively. I think the team is building in confidence, that is for sure. I think we are building in confidence. We have been building nicely over the last couple of weeks. It'll be interesting if Tonda plays Larin and Stewart together. My bet, Roy, is I don't think he will. I think they're very similar in type, but I think Larin will offer something different to Stewart. I did think Stewart played really well in the second half last week. I think it's really hard to drop him. He just won't be able to play 2 games, really. He won't be able to play tomorrow and then go play again on Tuesday. So one of them will play. I still think the door's open for Cameron Archer. And I think Cameron Archer still has a big part to play between now and the end of the season. I just think if one of them got injured, Cameron Archer becomes quite a big player for us. Right, I think it's time now to bring my interview with Michael from Football Aranya. I recorded this a couple of days ago, but it's only 6 minutes in length, so well worth listening to what Michael has to say.
Ultimately,
I'm going to be finding out a little bit more about Southampton's latest signing. Cyle Larin signed on deadline day, and he was playing his trade over in Holland. So I thought I'd get myself a Dutch football expert on the channel, and I'm delighted to be joined by Michael from Football Oranje here on the Football Martin channel. Michael, thank you very much for your time. Can I pick your brains? Cyle Larin, a very short stint over in Holland at Feyenoord. Tell me a little bit more about him as a player and what unravelled whilst he was there.
Hello, yeah, I love coming on like English football team podcasts to talk about players that come over from the Netherlands and the Eredivisie, and generally I'll give like quite a nice review, or I'll always be honest whether players like will be really successful or not. And it's really hard for me to come on here and say that I've watched Cyle Larin, over 3 seasons or whatever. We're talking about half a season for Feyenoord. That hasn't gone very well. Predominantly a lot of bench appearances and performances that did not give fans much to kind of hang their hat on and say, yeah, he's going to be a really useful player for us. So when I talk about Cyle Larin, I want you to know that for most of the players in the Eredivisie, like I might give a good reference or whatever, but I'm afraid this has not been one of them. But I suppose at least Southampton fans will know what to expect after this.
Yeah, his time there was very short-lived. Didn't play a lot of football. Only scored the 1 goal during his time at Feyenoord, and that was in the Europa League.
That's right. He came off the bench the last 10 minutes of that one and nearly missed it, which kind of sums it up, really. Yeah, it was a cross on the left. He completely miscued it. And then second time I've asked him, managed to get his feet together and he put it in the back of the net. Yeah, he scored the 1 goal in 17 games. Most of them off the bench. He'd got a few starting a few games from the start, but I'm remembering which ones as well. And they were mainly in the Europa League when Feyenoord were kind of throwing him a towel a little bit with some of the games. So he was very much a reserve striker and didn't win over many final hearts, which is really sad because Feyenoord have had a lot of strikers over the years where they have won their fans' hearts and they've been worth it. And just reading some of the reaction of final fans after he's left, I'm afraid it's very indifferent to the fact that he has gone.
Are they pleased he's moved on as a fan base?
Yeah, definitely. They've got a couple of other good strikers, but I'm afraid he wasn't in there. He wasn't used that much.
Yeah, from what you've seen of Larin, do you think he's the sort of player? You've seen the Championship, you know the Championship. Do you think he's the sort of player to come to the Championship and thrive?
He said himself when he signed for Southampton in his interview that Southampton play the style of play that he likes. I don't know if that was a bit of a throwing shade on the way Feyenoord play. Feyenoord have struggled this season. They are second in the Eredivisie somehow. Still, they have really struggled. Robin van Persie has not done well as manager over there, and I think it's a matter of time until Feyenoord drop down the table a little bit. The gap is closed to teams below them. They've got Ajax that are still trying to recover their season. They've got NEC Nijmegen that are having a brilliant season. If there are any English football fans here that don't know about the Eredivisie this season, there are a lot of teams that are struggling below PSV who are 17 points clear at the top, that are struggling with managers that are getting the best out of their players tactically. And I think Van Persie is a good example of what I'm talking about here at Feyenoord. So they're second somehow because the teams in that part of the league are underperforming. The players on paper are actually quite good. So then makes me think for Cyle Larin, is that because the manager was not able to get the best out of him? He scored some goals in La Liga last season. The Eredivisie is known to be a good place for strikers to get some goals at times. It can be quite a league full of goals and attacking football. But yeah, for whatever reason at Feyenoord, he maybe wasn't getting the service or wasn't getting the best out of him tactically. It felt a bit of an odd move to play him as an attacking midfielder. He is a striker, and
is that where he played? He played as an attacking midfielder.
Yeah, he played a bit as a 10. I mean, when they needed a striker to come on in the last 10 minutes to get a goal, I guess he's going on as a midfielder, but no, really, he's going on as a linchpin, a player to throw balls into. I think he was mainly used as that kind of target man later in the game to throw balls into. And as attacking midfielder, it was a bit of an odd move. So when he played the full 90, he would play as a second striker behind somebody else. And yeah, that didn't seem to get the best out of him at all. So I do wonder if there's a little bit of a glimmer of hope, like Southampton fans, me giving that context as to why he would have struggled.
Yeah.
That he wasn't, they didn't play him to the best of what he could have done.
Yeah, no, it's really interesting. You make some really good points. I really appreciate your time and your insight. He's not played a lot of football, so it's really hard for you to kind of come on here and tell us loads about him. But for what you have told us about him being played out of position is really interesting. What system do Final play with? Do they play with a flat four with 2 holding and a 10? What sort of system do they play as a team under Van Persie?
Midfield is very busy, and usually Finals will have 3 high quality midfielders in there. So when Larin comes in, it's a very different tack. It's not usual for them. So that's why he just didn't fit in their system. So I can kind of see what he's saying with the style of play comment. Final will have 3 quite technical players that are great on the ball. Not typically a out and out defensive midfielder. So there isn't one player sitting. They tend to play with 2 number 8s and then a number 10. The number 10 is a bit of a goal getter, but also someone that's still good on the ball. So Larin didn't fit that mould. He isn't that player.
Remains to be seen what he can do in England with Southampton. Michael, I really appreciate your time today, and thank you very much for coming on the channel.
That's all right. Maybe you can have me on for a bit longer when it's a player that I've watched a lot more of and I can give a good reference for. But Southampton fans, I'm really sorry. This doesn't look like a good one at the moment, if I'm being totally honest with you.
No, we appreciate your honesty, and that's exactly why we brought you on the channel. I've seen your content. Keep up the great work, Michael. You're doing great things. Hope you enjoyed that. I thought it was a good opportunity to get a little bit of insight into Larin's time over in Holland, and I thought Michael was a perfect person to bring on the channel. I've been looking for someone from Canada for a couple of days now to come on and give us a little bit more of an insight, and we'll probably do that at some stage, but I think we're kind of at that stage now where we're going to find out for ourselves anyway, due to the fact that we're going to see him play a bit now. So I think we will start to find out. I'll read out a few more of your comments from people tuning in live. Give me all your thoughts in the comments box below on what Michael had to say about Cyle Larin. But it was interesting to say that he did play a bit of time playing from attacking midfield. Doesn't look like he was given any opportunity there. So very, very difficult to judge him upon that short period of time. He did score goals in La Liga. How can you get rid of your top goal scorer, Adam Armstrong? It's so bad, says Neil. It massively does split opinion, this one. Wellington to start, 100%. Yeah, no, I agree. I think he will start. I did agree with this comment. I saw it come through a minute ago. I've watched a fair few of his clips now as well. And if he can if he can hit the ground running quickly, it will be a massive positive. Thoughts on Samadozi? Well, he should make the matchday squad tomorrow with Jay Robinson out. He needs someone from the bench he's got a point to prove as well, isn't he? Hopefully he will get a bit of an opportunity. Well, the game does kick off a little bit later tomorrow, and a lot of people asking why, but all Championship, League 1 and League 2 games will kick off tomorrow 1 minute later than usual this weekend. It's to raise awareness for the Every Minute Matters campaign. It's a brilliant campaign, this. It's in place for 36 matches across the 3 divisions between the 5th and the 9th of February. The EFL sponsor Sky Bet and the British Heart Foundation have been working together since May 2024 to highlight the importance of speed when it comes to performing life-saving CPR. Later kickoff times will serve as a stark reminder that every minute matters, said the EFL, and former England footballers Michael Richards, Jermaine Defoe and ex-Southampton manager Glenn Hoddle are amongst the campaign ambassadors. Glenn Hoddle did survive a cardiac arrest in October 2018 thanks to CPR treatment from a sound engineer having collapsed during TV punditry work for TNT Sport. So that is why the games are kicking off a little bit later tomorrow. Justin is in the live. It all sounds a bit dud. We have to give him a few chances. I totally agree with that one. Thanks for joining, mate. Hope you are well and your week's been okay. It's obviously the recruitment team that saw something in Larin. Let's see if we need to send them to Specsavers. Yeah, absolutely. Such a positive thing to do, especially when there have been so many cardiac arrests at games, and there has been a lot. The Tom Lockyer incident as well is a stark reminder of life is so precious, and more and more people that are trained to do CPR, the absolute better. I've done my first aid a couple of times now, but when you're in that moment, it's being able to do it, isn't it? Right, what else do we have? One other bit of club news, actually, I want to drop it in. I did see a story that they dropped on their website, and I don't know if you've noticed this one. The club are trying to enhance the matchday experience once again, but this time with high-speed Wi-Fi. This is across St Mary's Stadium. Staying connected to share the action, check scores is a vital part of the modern-day matchday experience. They recognise that, and they are rolling out the technology. It's been a trial and error process, say the club, and your concerns have been heard, and they are working with the Fan Advisory Board, FAB, to ensure that the system works for all of us. Our goal is, the club is saying, is to strike the right balance between providing a free service and ensuring your match day routine remains uninterrupted. So they are working on the Wi-Fi experience. You can find out a bit more over on the club's website. Right, before we do wrap up this live stream this evening, it's been a pleasure to do this show live. Hope you've enjoyed it. It's always a bit more of a mission to do these live because you're trying to pull a few more things together. For those of you that are joining the stream a little bit later, I have got the predicted lineup that I am going with on your screen. We have the Hornet Talk podcast joining in. Hello, Martin. It's great to have you here, my friend. I hope you're well. What's your score prediction for tomorrow's game? Getting rid of Armstrong would have been great if they had a player that was better replacing him. The jury is out. Yeah, it is out. It is absolutely out. Someone mentioned, is the loan window open? I think you can still loan players out to some countries, maybe. I might be wrong in saying that. Maybe Turkey. I think you can maybe loan players still to Turkey, but I think it closes pretty soon. If he plays, Leo Cienza will be the difference tomorrow. He will play. I don't think he's injured. He will play. I've got him in my predicted lineup tomorrow. He has to start. But I do think he will be in the side. There's no doubt about that. 15-1 says Justin. I haven't done. I've not done my my weekend's predictions to bet on yet. I usually do like a little weekend accumulator. Armstrong wanted to go. He did. He wanted to go, and Eckert said that in that little clip that I brought you earlier. It's out later. I look forward to seeing it. Make sure you go check out the Hornet Talk podcast. I joined the young lads on their show a couple of days ago. One thing for sure is our new signing will be another player who isn't match fit. What's the bet? He pulls his hamstring and is out for the season. It would be so unlucky, wouldn't it, that he plays tomorrow. I was chatting to a really good friend of mine, tuned into the channel, a Southampton fan. He did work at a Premier League football club in a medical team. And he said to me, when you bring players in that haven't played a lot of football, you are risking hamstring injuries and quad injuries, and they will be really, really careful with Larin. You would think they will be very, very careful with him. Yeah, it was an absolute pleasure to join you on your podcast. Right, that kind of brings me to the end of the show. It's been good to do it live. Hopefully, it's been as seamless as it possibly could. Justin's gone with 2-1 to Saints. You've gone with the same score prediction that I'm going with now. I feel a bit more confident today, and I want to back the team. I want to be positive going into the game tomorrow. So what is coming up on the Football Martin channel this weekend? Plenty of content. There is plenty of content coming your way because we will have an instant reaction within around 30 minutes of the final whistle tomorrow. Might be closer to an hour, but as soon as I can get it loaded, I will do. So if you're not at the game, you can get my reaction on my thoughts and observation from the game. And there will be a bit of fan cam footage, which will drop, I don't know, probably sort of early evening. And I will do a home from the game live as well. Stay tuned for that. The only way you're going to know about it is if you make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell on the homepage, and you'll be notified of any live stream of any video content we do drop. And if you want to get involved in matchday content and you're at St Mary's tomorrow, you can do so. Come and find us around the ground. We'll be there from around 10 a.m. tomorrow, maybe a little bit before that. We'll be around the ground grabbing some fan content. will be inside the Dow Bar as well. And we will be bringing you the very, very, very best when it comes to fan content. And there'll be a matchday vlog out on Sunday as well. And next week, I am pleased to announce that I will be launching the phone-in show. We will be doing a Talk Sport style phone-in show here on the Football Martin channel. And I'm very much looking forward to giving you the opportunity to ring in and join me on the channel. You won't even need to show your face. You will just be able to ring in. We will bring in people we know to start with, and we will open it up as we go, as we experiment with it. And if it works out well, it will be something we keep rolling. Massive shout out to the sponsors of the channel: DNS Carpets, Quackers, and also a new partner, Energy Save Experts. Thank you for supporting the channel, and to every single patron and every single member of the channel. I really appreciate your support, and I will see you again in some more content tomorrow.